Hey, what's up? It's Double Entendre. It's been a minute. I just got a lot of shit on my mind, and it's really just about me. Where should I start off with? I'll start with stocks, because it's just a quick thing. I've been doing okay. Just getting back into a humble place. I went back to paper trading for like the past half a year just to kind of get my bearings straight. It's been a bear market, so I want to cut the bleeding. I cut the bleeding off early. I'm glad I did, to be honest. And I tried to really learn it from more of a structural standpoint, doing it right. However, these past 2 days, I've just been kind of fucking like going a little crazy. It's not really quite realistic, taking way too much risk. I am chasing, which is not always a good thing. It's kind of funny. It's like the month of not chasing and doing the things right, it can all get wiped away simply by doing some dumbass shit, by chasing or taking way too much risk or not cutting off losers ASAPly. Like when things just don't work out right and you're kind of like full of yourself, you want to do things which you want, but it's not necessarily going, you can't really make it happen, right? No matter what you do with some things in life, you just can't make it happen simply because you wanted to. Life just doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, I don't know where that lies. And the more you try to fight it, the more you try to average down, it just gets into a fucking really bad place. So it's good that I actually did this on paper for the past 2 days, because at least I still know that I have some sort of like impulse. But granted, overall, the past month, it's still been pretty good. And I just have to be wary that 1 or 2 days of doing something stupid, which it's unrealistic. So, for example, realistic for now, just to jump back in with real cash, if I were to trade real money, it would have to be with 100, 200 shares. 100 shares, if I get a good, a win streak, and I make it $100, maybe I can bump it up to 200 the next week, right? But if all of a sudden, one of the days, if I'm doing 200 shares, and it just doesn't go my way, and I start to average down past the point where I just have to get out. Like, if support starts to break, and it's closing underneath the low, it's like, I could probably give it a chance. And I just average down on it and really up the size. Whoo, man, it can go a lot further down, and I can really dig myself a hole. And that could really set me back for basically the whole month, for the whole week. So that's something to be wary of. And I just have to remind myself that can't happen. And to get back to waiting for stocks to get back to where I want them, to where it makes sense, and then just trade the realistic kind of gains. All the other stuff past a consistent kind of type of way to win, which is all right, I know that here is resistance, here's support. If I buy near support and it's only about 25 to 30 cents for room of profit, it's still pretty darn good. I can get that much, I can get out, and the rest of all that, hey, at some point when I actually have the extra leeway, the extra room for risk, okay, fine. I can probably shoot for bigger goals. But until then, just being consistent is really the most important part of my career at the moment, to where when I do jump back in, I kind of want to repeat all the right things. Okay, with that said and done, also been approaching for the past 2 months, because dating apps aren't really working out for me. It is a big look thing in my opinion, and I'm pretty bad at text. I wish I could have more matches so I can actually work on text, but I'm getting in shape still, and I look a lot better than I did before, so can't complain about that. Just been pretty bad at taking photos. I get some photos, stuff they work out, but it just really don't work out. So it's okay, I have to try again. And it's just kind kind of get lazy. Also, I'll have to find a friend to do it too, which it's kind of tough sometimes to link up with people. And then, so yeah, I went back to cold approaching just because, yeah, I'm not the type to, I'm not really the black belt type to just like give up. It never happened. Like I already started approaching, when in 2013, just simply because like what other fucking choice do I have? I already kind of committed to it, but not completely. Like not in the sense where like I was really serious about like diving deep into learning. It's just kind of funny now that like now there's literally nothing fucking left to do, right? Like I'm getting bored of video games every now and then. It was just never something that I thought I did. I kind of read all the books that I want. Well, not all of them, but all the books that are like the ones that are like amazing. I read like Game of Thrones, all that type of stuff. So okay, how long can I read for? I don't want to read for fucking all day. In theory, it just gets kind of repetitive, right? All type of theory gets fucking repetitive. It's not really that important. Okay, it's fun to learn, all that stuff, but aside from like all the theory shit, it's like okay, you gotta apply shit too. So can't stay in books forever. Can't watch videos forever, right? Staying in the house is literally like for too long. Okay, staying in the house for too long for me is a mind killer, right? It is something that drives me insane. Like I get really just like depressed about how life is really fucking moving fast. So I just gotta get out the house, and I started getting out the house. It's just it's thrilling. It's exciting to actually be able to touch grass. Okay, touching grass is actually really fucking good for you. It's been the most exciting thing that I've got back into. I just can't believe that I fucking like forgot how fun it is and exhilarating it is. And I'm in a place where it's like, okay, this is like this is my only option. Hate to say it, but it is at the moment. I don't think it's my only option, but it is always an option that's there. It should always be there, right? Like, I think human history has put it down to where men meet women by fucking just meeting them, by going outside. That to me is a skill that like I've always wanted to actually have, but I never actually took the time to really dive deep into it. And I'm still lost at some points because like reality is a little weird for biases, but I lost my train of thought. That's just how much like is going on in my mind. But let me get to the point. So yeah, results been kind of slow. Day game is just something that I'm not really good at, but I'm working at it, trying to just build a process, and from the process to get better, and then just to kind of get consistent at starting conversation, right? So all the small wins lead up to better wins, or make you better overall. It doesn't matter how small it is. It doesn't matter whether you are just saying hi and somebody just like walking past, even if they didn't fucking hear you. Because your mind, it's kind of getting used to it. And that's the most important part, is that you are training yourself to kind of get out there. And that's what I've been doing for the past 2 months. And it's just kind of funny because I haven't actually been serious about going out because I took some time off to do stocks and to learn finance, which I barely have any fucking success at this point. But I wouldn't say that I didn't learn a lot the past 2 years. Getting better at it again. So yeah, I'm coming right back out again after a 2.5 year hiatus, I would say, right? And it's just kind of funny how fast like results actually do come, even if I'm not that great at it. From literally zero, phone numbers and stuff to like 2 phone numbers the past 2 weeks. Got to make out the other day, and I missed my window to actually just jump in for the pool. Besides that, right, the thing that is actually really bothering me that I have to get out of my fucking like mind is just that like I don't disagree with the whole trad thing. I don't think anybody really does. Like I do love the fact that I can hang out with some girl, and it's just easy to be with someone. I can like just like to get. I do actually like to get to know somebody. I think I fall in love way too fast, unfortunately, and probably not that. Yeah, it's probably not my. It's probably not really me that's doing it. It's just from all the stuff that you've learned throughout as a kid, all the bad ideas that has nothing to do with attraction, but more so to do with like being in relationships. It doesn't really get the girl. And the thing that's kind of trippy is that I understand the whole idea of the red pill of like seeing the things the way they are. But what I don't agree with is the fact that you can't take what you learned and start to work yourself around it, right? Like, I've always been the person to say, hey, because what choice do I have, right? Is even if this whole hypergamy shit is true, right? So the fuck what? Like, why would it stop me to go out and try to make something happen? Because I already have results from that thing that just doesn't exist. Not in the sense that I guess a lot of red pill people or even black pill people might like trying to take what's reality and just say, hey, this is just what I have to accept. It doesn't work that way for me. For me, it's just like, okay, this happens. All right, so what can I do to get better? Right? What can I do to become a better person? To become a better, talker, get better confidence, be more seductive and stuff like that. But with that being said, I do kind of understand the whole idea a little bit more. It's just kind of funny. It's like, I didn't want to. It's not like I want to be a fucking player. I actually don't. It's a fantasy to me. I would love it. But at the same time, it's like, it's more of like acceptance again. And it's like, I really like this girl that I hung out with on fucking Saturday. And it's just unfortunate that, like, I don't know, for whatever fucking reason, like, it just goes cold. And the hard part is that you kind of have to accept that, girls are going to be like that, no matter who you meet. And one night, it's just all emotions, unfortunately, which I think, my mistake was that I didn't really, like, qualify her or something like that. Or maybe have her, like, kind of gain me more, right? And, of course, it's not like she didn't, like, have a few drinks herself, too, which I don't know how people can, if they handle their own alcohol. So that all plays a factor into things. We were texting okay, and then all of a sudden just got cold. And whatever reason it is that it's gone cold, I will never know. If she still could be, like, interested, I have no fucking clue. But let's just say, for example, that she's not, which probably is the case, right? And I go from that. The point of where my mind is trying to see, it's like, okay, listen, I would love to hang out with her. I would love to just get to know her a little bit better, get deeper. She's cool, right? But unfortunately, if that's not going to be the case, the only way for me to get my mind out from, like, thinking about her it's that I have to get more real abundance. Right? I have to actually, like, get in a mind of abundance to where I just, like, fucking forget it. So, in the past 2 days, which are 3, I think, at this point, 3, which I haven't been able to get in contact, all I did was fucking go on the game again. Funny enough, that's actually a cure for it. Now, the gaming part, right, it's just kind of reinforcing the whole idea. It's like, hey, not that I'm trying to be a player, but it is kind of going more towards that route of, like, and it is an unfortunate circumstance that society is moving towards a place where the extremes are getting really fucking crazy. It's why all the OnlyFans shit kind of pop up. It's why why hypergamy shit kind of pop up, and why there's a whole bunch of, like, incel black pill kind of shit that goes on. It's just reaching the far extreme. And not to say that trad is bad or anything like that. I hope to eventually get to one day where I can be in a lovely relationship of some point. It's really what I would like. But the reality of it is that in order for me to even get there, I actually have to go to, I'm naturally moving towards this route. And it's like, I can kind of see why. You know, not that like I believe in it, but it's just what I'm becoming, I guess. And it's just kind of hard to, it's a little hard to kind of accept at the same time. But I got no point but to double down. And I've just been doubling down on myself for the whole past like year, or this year, the past 2 months. I've really been doubling down on myself. So doubling down, and you know what? Fuck it. If that's just what I have to be, then so be it. I'm going to be the most Giga Chad that you could ever be. Thanks for hanging out. Peace.